back to the Epicurean.
And the herbalist.
And today we are talking about drum roll, please.
That's your drum roll.
So extra. What are we talking about today, Honey Bunch?
We're talking about food still because this is a big deal with us always. And now we're talking about foods in the springtime because we talked about smoothies, and that's a nice fast food, but you got to eat. You got to have food. You got to eat a real meal. What
Do
foods? Yeah, what foods are good in the springtime that are, what's your favorite food? And
I don't like
what,
to eat that much. When it's hot outside, I just lose my appetite.
But there's a lot of things that go with that too. I mean,
I know.
planning. You're planning. See, it's so quickly. You have to think about everybody that you have to prepare food for.
So I will say this is my thing in the summers because I have a large family of 6. And then friends, girlfriends of kids, and I mean just everybody's at
And
my
guy
house.
friends and
It's everybody.
relatives.
Yeah. I find that on Sundays I will make a huge salad
Oh.
in a bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody can get out of that. Make a huge fruit bowl. Everybody can pick out of that. Those are like my in between. Like if you're hungry, I'll make a huge bowl of tuna. You guys I like light stuff.
That's a popular food too.
Yeah.
Any type of because
That is cool. It's fast. It's quick. If you're hungry, make a salad. There's a salad bowl already made in there. If you're hungry and you need a snack, there's fruit bowl already in there. Pick out of that. Those are things that help me. And because I'm such a non-eater, like I just don't sit down and eat meals.
No,
you know
she
this.
picks at it.
I just like to taste a little of something and keep going. So that works for me in my house. And again, my fallback is the smoothie, especially in the summertime.
Yeah.
Not so much in the winter, but in the spring, summer, if I can just drink my meal and I'll be full and be ready to go.
And see,
I know it's not probably the best thing.
No, that's a good thing. But when you have my husband is not going to go through having a smoothie all day.
Right.
So I always think about
proteins
because when someone in your family is looking at you like at 8:00 at night, like where's the real meal? So I like.
That's true.
Yeah. So in it's summer and it's going into being cool. I mean, much better weather outside right now. You want to be outside, but you think about what's going to get me out here if I'm not grilling outside, which could be.
You love to grill.
I'd love to grill, absolutely, but at the same time, it only lasts for a day or so. So I'm also looking for one pot meals. And that keeps me out the kitchen because if I put something in the Instapot.
See, when I don't bring my Instapot out in the spring or the summer.
But you really can, and I can tell you what is really good for me.
Some of the beans.
No, yeah, besides the beans and the lentils and stuff, and the lentils really don't take long. But if you're cooking just say you want a pot roast because you're going to take that meat and make that, how do you call it, carne asada? What's your favorite?
I don't eat red meat, but
okay. Well,
you're saying using the meat as a protein.
Just a protein.
Oh, that makes sense.
So using it as a protein because nobody wants to stand over a hot oven in the springtime. But if you cook, for me, for springtime, I like to do like maybe a chicken. I'll just do like a baked chicken, or even it might be turkey or whatever, and I'll bake that and have that ready, and then I can use it in my salads for protein. If I want to be totally vegan for the next 3 weeks, which I do sometimes for, I can go months without saying I really don't need protein. I can tell when my body gets weak for it.
Right.
Especially in the spring and summertime because there's so much of abundance. You have more abundance in things and different choices. So cooking one pot dishes, it really helps me.
Gotcha.
One pot meals, and it could be a full meal. It could have beans in there or something else, or
I'm not eating beans in the.
But just in case someone wants that heavier meal, you have your salad bowl made up, so it really comes in handy. When you have a household that's a mixture of carnivores and kids, you're trying to satisfy all of the areas without having to go and break the bank. So you're thinking about things like that for me, and fish is a very good choice.
Got it. Um, I'm not a fish eater.
Oh yeah, you are.
No,
You-
I'm not.
How dare you say that? Branzino is something that you love.
Yeah, that's I'm not ordering Branzino every day, and I'm
Okay.
not buying Branzino.
Okay.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? Like you
Okay.
will eat like
So-
salmon, and
Seasonally, and so seasonally,
that's
right
a
now,
good
that's-
thing that you're saying, eating for the season
Yes,
or eating to
right.
the season.
So this is spring. So I'm saying, what's good for you for fish in the springtime? Then what would you consider a good fish?
I'm just not at the store buying a fish.
You're not,
No.
but you do a lot of seafood.
Yes, like boils. The
Okay,
different type of
see.
seafood, like crab legs.
But do you do that more in the springtime because it's better pricing, or it's economical, or is it just basically for
No, I
entertainment?
should do things for economics, but I don't.
Okay,
I do it just because that's
because you want it.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but that's a
steamed
a good
steamed stuff like that, like
Mhm.
clams or oysters,
Yeah.
mussels.
Mhm.
I can do that.
thing. For me, for spring, cast iron skillets is a lot. Everybody knows I'm a cast iron person.
You love a cast iron,
I'm
but I
taking
feel
pictures
like
all the time.
that's more for me. But you like to make frittatas and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but
and,
I feel like that's for me still.
pasta and shrimp in there, salmon, a main dish in a skillet with everything thrown in there.
I think a good like light lemony like pasta with olive oil,
Oh, no, that's-
something light like that I can
Yes,
do. When it's
yes.
like getting into the sauces, then I
Mhm.
don't want to do it either.
because you have to create those. You think is that?
Yeah, I just feel
So-
like it's heavy. I
It's
just feel
heavy.
like cream and
Yeah.
sauce and most of my family doesn't eat red sauce, so that's a whole nother.
Yeah, I don't do red sauce. My husband loves red sauce. Your dad loves red sauce, but what I do is usually a butter and wine and garlic.
I
I
like
keep it
that.
real simple.
Then drink a little wine.
Well, the grandkids, they even get it, so they don't know it. But their pasta today that they're having is butter and wine. So we stick with the butter and wine. And they don't know. I just do a little lesser on theirs. And then if I want to do some tomatoes
nice.
in there, it's light and it's still, you can taste it. It's clean. Or a little pesto, Pesto is always good too because it has, a little bit of hint of cheese in it and the basil. So,
So speaking to what you were talking about of growing and eating in season,
Mhm.
and I noticed that Instacart is doing something that it wasn't doing. Like they put on when you're grocery shopping, they put like in season under like certain
Good thing,
fruits.
good to know.
So for you, what is the importance of eating in season?
It's a big importance to me because when you're eating in season, then you know that usually things are vine ripe, and it's supposed to be. That means that just the way our Creator Yahweh made it to be, you're doing it in order. We do things out of order. You're getting something, and we're eating watermelon in Christmas during Christmas time. You know it didn't come from here, so they've had to use chemicals. That's going back to being sustainable in the right way because. When now we can source things from all over the world, from China, but is it really doing you good, your body good? Because you're forcing yourself to eat something that even your body has a circadian rhythm. So you're taking it out of that circadian rhythm. You're taking the plants out of that rhythm, and you're saying, "I'm going to have this anyway, just because what we did."
I can.
This goes back
That's
to
a
our previous
really
show.
good point.
Because we're doing that, and we do that with everything, and then we say it's okay because we did it. The watermelon is slightly red, and we're really visually just eating it because it really doesn't taste like watermelon, and we're wondering, but just because we can, we do that. But is it sustainable? Is it eating seasonally, or would you rather get the peppers that are in season that were grown? They didn't have to be grown in a greenhouse. They weren't forced by chemicals. Most of the things that we get in the stores, they forced them in some way to produce them to make sure that we have that abundance, but we never consider that, and then we wonder why we're not getting nutritionally fed. So
That makes a lot of sense.
yeah, so
Sorry,
for me,
it's
it's a
cute
big
bird
deal.
right there.
It's a cute bird, huh? Is it a hummingbird that you see over there?
No, it's
Oh,
a
I see it.
finch.
It's over there eating the seeds off of the bok choy. We have a generational garden, so the generational garden is beautiful. I could take a picture of that bird. It actually has the yellow of the bok choy. So the bok choy has went to seed, and it has all these heads on it. Yesterday I took the mustard seeds and put those in packages. So I have now mustard seeds, brown spicy mustard seeds. But we like to leave things in the garden that are generational because it brings pollinators. It does the garden good. Also, you're getting your own seeds back from that. And again, this goes back to doing things in season. That circadian rhythm is missing
Right.
in every area of our lives, and we wonder why we don't sleep well. We don't even let our food go through the process of doing that because we take it too early. So instead of us taking this, and even though I can cut those down to the bottom and they'll grow back again, I let them come through the process of producing, bringing forth more life.
That's funny
And the
that you're
whole
saying that
rhythm.
with the rhythm, right? Because I just started this intermittent fasting, right?
Mhm.
And it takes me through each stage as you go through the hours of what your body is doing
Wow.
to regenerate or go through the full cycle of that. So I'm doing a 16-hour window of not eating and an 8-hour window of eating. But in that 16 hours, you're giving your body the full time to go through a rhythm, right, that you're supposed
I love
to.
it.
Because technically, we're not supposed to be eating all day long.
No, we're not.
You know what I mean?
We're meant to.
We never give our body a chance to
Have a
go
break.
through, right, the rhythm. So it's funny that, aha moment, guys.
Yeah, your body, you're going to be more in tune with your body because, you know, that's the same thing when we take medicine. When you go to your doctor,
Mhm.
first thing they do is they ask you what your conditions are, right?
Right.
They run some tests and then they tell you to take something. Most of the time, they're telling you to take it. They never tell you that you're going to get off of it. Have you noticed that?
Right.
They just give you this, and this is your new routine that you're putting in this chemical in your body indefinitely. They never, most of the old time doctors, and there's still a lot of them, they have functional medicine now, which is to me, they're equivalent to being what we've always been, which were herbalists from the beginning.
Mhm.
And they've applied the science to it, which I'm not mad at them, but at the same time, it goes back, you have to listen to your own body's rhythm. The rhythm of every person is individually, whereas individuals, even though some people go off blood type. But what if you're stuffing your body with this chemical every day, but you never listen to the side effects, the little
Mhm.
things that's going off, the alarms, silent alarms. I'm getting a little thirsty, and every medicine that you see on the prescriptions on the commercials, they'll play the soft music,
Yeah.
and then they'll tell you, you know, you might get a dry throat or you're going to have a rash that might appear, and they'll slip in, and there's some
Mhm.
nice music, and you'll see some child running across the field, and you're watching them, and it might cause death. You miss it
Right.
because it's so subliminal. But there we are. We're like,
Right. Well, because they put nice music
Yeah.
on and
And-
different things to.
and that's what we're doing to our bodies.
Right.
You know, so eating in season is just that important because we're missing the signs that watermelon looks great, but in December it's not time for that watermelon.
Such a good point.
It's not time.
It's really good.
You know, so we just have to kind of figure out who we are, what race are we really running, and whose race is it?
That's the bigger issue. Whose race are we running?
It's my own, on my own. Ooh, yes. Okay. Anyway.
Pate.
Yes, you know, so that's a big thing. And then sustainability, that's
Mhm.
important
Mhm.
because who are we really helping? You know, all of our food is shipped into America. It's not our own. We're not growing
What
it.
is going on?
What's going on?
What's going on?
Yeah, you know, the big farms are being pushed out.
Why?
The small farms are being pushed out. Everybody's being so produce.
Why?
And if you're gonna get your fresh
There's so many
produce and stuff,
questions.
you would be able to get your in-season meals from these small farmers that make their lives off of it. You can go up. It used to be so many people here, even in Nevada, that you can find, you know, the farmers markets. They've cut out quite a few farmers markets right here in our city. I know they still have a couple maybe in your area town, and I know there's another area town too.
Yeah.
But we have one in my area, and it's no longer here, and I don't like it.
Who can you tell?
But
Can
it's
we go
okay
tell?
because, you know, my garden is increased like 5 times 4, but at the same time, I don't have the, you know, a lot of the things.
Camaraderie and also the fellowship of
Yes.
people,
Neighbors.
like-minded people.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what that's for as well, right? A sense
Yeah.
of community.
it is a sense of community, bartering. I had many friends that we were seeing there. We had some Jamaican people that we were close to, and we bought all of their goods, and we shared times together and invited each other. We've lost contact, and it's not about that here now. You know, we have to strive to make new communities. You
That's
know?
the thing. You have to be intentional
Yeah, you have to be
about
intentional.
building that, right?
Yeah.
You almost have to create the life that you want, right? And also, once you create it, not isolate yourself, right? You have to
Right.
find like-minded people to share with.
Right. And to say all of that, does it still tie in with food? Yes, it does. Because if you don't have the nutrition, and I'm putting in the other topic of nutrition, how fit are you going to be mentally,
Right.
physically, spiritually, psychologically, if you're not getting the right nutrients in your spring meals that you're preparing? So you want something that's going to be good for your family. You want something that's going to be ready to say, I spent the money. That's the other thing, the price. I'm conscious of prices. If I'm spending money on food, then I need to get something back from that. I expect a gain from that. I expect that it should be, the payoff is giving my body nutrients.
Right.
I should be getting better health. We don't have any expectations of our food anymore. Have you noticed?
No, because we're all eating crap.
Well, but the price is something that we consider.
Well, right now the price is the same to go to the grocery store is the same to eat out. So what people are going to do is do it for convenience. They're like, I'm tired already. I've worked all day long. Okay.
Give me that Big Mac.
Yeah, the Big Mac is the same price as going to the grocery store to create a meal. Right? Now you have to do the time to go home, cook it, you're tired. So they've created a system where now you're like, oh, I'll just go out to eat, or I'll take takeout home, right? Because it's the same amount, if not more, at the grocery store.
You're right. You're so right. And I've been in those situations.
Me too. I'm like,
yeah, and my family is just me and my husband, but at the same time, I have extended family because I have my grandkids a lot of times, and I have no problem with that. But the one thing about it is they're used to eating this food. So they don't mind it when Nana cooks whatever I cook. Yeah. And, always,
when they come home.
Yeah. What about when they come home? They have different attitudes?
Then they
revert back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But when they're here, they eat everything.
Like you just ate that. You just ate that at your Nana's house.
Yeah, with no problems. Not
like, we hate soup. What?
But then I make fun dishes for them as well. Everything that's,
yeah.
I try to make nutritional, but at the same time, it's always going to be some banana pancakes, homemade blueberry cobblers, and cookies, things of that nature, because I don't believe in not letting them have fun. I want them to explore and enjoy. But I think that food has become something that's a lost art because we don't put nutrition in it first. And the herbs, I'm an herbalist, but I'm not an herbalist first. I'm a person about the nutrition, because nutrition is in everything that we eat. It should be. Whether you're eating plants, whether you're eating protein from an animal, it should be nutrition, nutrition, and nutrition. And you can make it be nice if it's going to be sustainable, if you're not getting it from the other side of the world and you've had to spray it with 1,000 chemicals. So for me, saying springtime is here, I guess our takeaway is give food that's close to home.
In season. Homegrown, if you can get local, sourced,
local source,
and if you can't, they have so many places now that ship from small farms.
Yes.
I mean, it's really just about awareness, right? You're gonna get into anything, get out of, what am I trying to say? Whatever you put into it is what you're gonna get out of it, right? So if you go and search these things, because we all have access to information now, right? And so it's what you do with your time, right? To search these things out. Because I've searched out farms. I mean, my midwife has a farm, and we would buy half a cow from her,
right. You guys still do that, don't you?
Right. We do. Even our pork, same thing. We buy a pig, and it makes such a difference, right? Of knowing where your stuff is coming from. And it's not hard. We think that it's hard. We be like, oh, the why. And it's actually more cost effective, if we want to talk about cost effective, and where it's coming from, to find local farmers or non-local farmers that ship and do that.
Right. And we do the same thing. We do subscribe to a small meat company, and I checked out their produce, and everything is grass fed, and they package it, and I get like a monthly, maybe every couple of months. It's a
farm, yeah.
It's a farm. But you need to check out, and there's nothing wrong with buying, and I can say this again, if there is something that you are buying from another country, it's how they package it and who has control over that. That's why I prefer smaller places, because most of those are more sustainable, and their practices of how they actually take care of their products, whether it's even fruits and vegetables, if they're freeze dried. A lot of people talk about dehydrating things, but then I love the dehydrator, but that's more like for my crackers and things, because you lose over 50% of the nutrients, even more than that. And the stuff is not nutrient dense in the first place if you didn't grow it. So why am I going to waste the time, my electric bill, running a dehydrator over something that somebody has sprayed and radiated, because they have to be, the greens have to be radiated. So if it's not organically grown and sourced, if it's not freeze dried, and I do have a freeze dryer, I haven't started using that yet.
She got everything.
That's what I plan on doing with my
dehydrator, freeze dryer, freezer, deep freezer.
Well, yeah, but we are going to be offering those greens, the green, the powdered greens, but they're only because I know that you maintain 99% of the nutrients.
Right.
And if it's organic, so I'm for that. I can love shipping from someplace. I have no problem with that. But it's how did they package it? Where did it come from? Because all those things we don't have time to. So if you're going to eat fast food, make it simple and make sure that there's not a list of host of ingredients for the spring. And I like to stick to the main ingredients. If it's going to be a meat dish, then it should be a grain. The grain should not be something that's been bleached, and if you're going to eat the vegetables, make sure that if you can get organic, if you possibly can, grass-fed meat, keep it simple. If you're going to do desserts, make them from scratch, or either get someone that you know that actually is going to put real food in it. For springtime, keep it light and try to keep
it light and right. That's the takeaway.
Light and right. I like that.
You do?
Yeah. And
that could be a song.
Yeah.
Light and right.
Oh my goodness.
Light and right.
Child, this is my child.
Anyhow,
we're sitting under the sumac tree, enjoying the outdoors.
The spring now, before it gets too hot.
Yeah, we'll probably have another couple of weeks of maybe being able to be outdoors like this. And then out comes the tents, even over our gardens in Las Vegas, because it's going to be too hot. Probably by the end of May. End of May, yeah. We'll be out here, but we'll be in the shade because it's going to be something else. But we're looking forward to it. Is there anything else you want to add?
You guys, listen. So we will be traveling back to South Africa, or Africa in itself.
Yes.
So give us some suggestions on where to go next.
Yes, we're going to be back in South Africa. And
we might not be going to South. We might just go to Ghana.
Well,
South Africa. West Africa.
She wants to go to Ghana, but I'm definitely going to South Africa.
I want to go everywhere.
I do. I want to be on the continent, period. But definitely, we're going to visit.
You guys, give us suggestions.
South African stuff. But yes, but we're gonna. You think it might be Ghana too?
I think it might be everywhere.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's one thing to talk about where we're going to reside there. It's another thing we can go and
just
look at
she's
everywhere.
On point with that we're residing. Yeah.
You guys,
just have to say that.
Like, subscribe, and we'll see you
soon.
And
give us your suggestions, really, about being on the continent, because we are relocating, and we definitely need.
Yeah, we need suggestions. Where to go, who to see. Who's the people? Who's our people? Goodbye, because she's choking.
See you next time.